Hey everybody, this is Exp-Führer, and today we're going to be doing another kind of guide sort of thing on Puzzles and Dragons. This will be on how to get experience effectively, and what dungeons you can exploit to get more experience to level up faster. So the first dungeon I'd recommend that people start, because you're probably going to do this at an early level, is Dragons of the Tower. Whoops, let me click here. In Tower of Giants, that dungeon, and then find, that group of dungeons, and then find Dragons of the Tower, because it's a fairly short one. It only costs 5 stamina, and it's only 5 battles. It actually costs half that, so it's 3 on weekends, I believe. And it gives you 309 experience per stamina point that you use, which is quite a lot, as you can see, compared to pretty much all of these. It's much higher. So you're getting a lot more experience. As you can see, the total experience is 1,500, which is pretty close to the top one, but you're using 2 more stamina to do it. So you can do this one more often and get more experience overall, which is what I'd recommend people doing who just want to level up and you're already early, because it's not hard to get to this dungeon. You can pretty much do it with any team that you want, and then continue to do this thing with pretty much any team you want, and it likely won't take you more than a couple minutes to complete the dungeon, so you can do it really fast. It's also good for people who just want to farm POW points. You just get all your friends, or even if you don't have the max amount of friends that you can have, or you're just adding to it or something like that, you can just keep doing this one pretty much over and over and over again with different people. It really doesn't matter because it's so easy to do, and then just beat it every time. So that's definitely the first one I'd recommend doing quite a bit to get up levels. It's not going to be as fast as some of these other ones, so we're going to move on to the next one. This is for kind of past beginner, more like intermediate people who've been playing for a while and know what they're doing. The next one I would recommend, as you can see, any of these you could really do if you really wanted to, like if they had something in it that you wanted, because they're just about the same amount of experience per stamina. But the next one I'd recommend is any of the golem ones later on, and I mean that by, in Hyperion Lava Flow, the lava tube gives you 528, and it has the red golem in it. In the Oceanus Falls, the whirlpool in the waterfall basin gives you 4 less experience per stamina, but it has the water golem in it. And then the gate to the Mystic Land in the Kronos Forest gives you just 1 less point, or 5 less points, and has the wood golem in it. So any of those ones, they all give you about the same amount of experience. Same with any of these end ones if you wanted to do them. And maybe try for something else. I'm not sure what's in them. But any of them are not really beginner friendly, but they're definitely not impossible to do. You can do them with relative ease if you know what you're doing, or if you've gotten lucky from like the egg machine and gotten some good stuff and can put it on a team that functions relatively okay. Just even if you just had a few high statted minions, like if you got a lot of the like the Heartbreakers or something like that, like the Gigas, Siegfried, Choo Choo, Vampire, or like Valkyrie or something like that. Any of those ones, if you've gotten them, you could just, throw them on a team and just have like high statted things. Or if you've gotten any of the Mystic Knights from any of the other ones and have built them up to at least, maybe their 3rd or 4th form. Well, probably 3rd form. The 4th form's a bit difficult to get. But, they're not really hard to upgrade, and they have really high stats too. So all of those work pretty well. And all of these ones, like I said, any of these ones or the ending battle of them work out. These ones are just generally better because you can get the golems from them, and the golems are pretty strong as well. Like in some of these, like any of these second to last ones, you can get any of these girls, which are all really good as well. So if you wanted to do that, you could do that as well. You still have a really low chance of getting anything from these, though, so don't be too frustrated if you don't get stuff for a while. After that, you can really go through and do some of these other ones if you want. Pretty much anything gets you around the same amount of experience. Like Vesta Caves Bottomless Void gives you almost the same. Same with like Frozen Ground or probably Great Mountain of Olympus. The next one, though, next ones I'd recommend are up here in Starlight Sanctuary, being Queen of the Gods and King of the Gods. As you can see, you can get a lot of experience per stamina point that you use, but these ones are more difficult. These ones, again, I would say for intermediate players are really difficult. You can do these dungeons with certain teams, though. They're definitely not impossible to do. Even if you haven't gotten good stuff from the Godfest or, pulled anything really useful from the Egg Machine. You can... I've done King of the Gods many times with just a Gomon team without having really any trouble doing it. It's been really easy. As well as Queen of the Gods is the same thing. I could do that with Gomon team every time without any trouble. And you could kind of see that in my free teams to use, where I kind of explained what are some of the good free teams to use, and I might do another part on that later or something. But yeah, either of these two get you a ton of experience per stamina point. Up here in the Legendary Dragons, they're okay, but they're usually more for farming any of the dragons. Not necessarily the Legendary Dragons, because they aren't always the best, but for farming any of the either the small light or the small dark dragon or any of the girls that go with them, being the Naga, the Mermaid, and the Dryad. Any of those, they're generally used more for farming, as well as in Sky Dragon's domain, it's the same thing. As well as you could farm starters as well, I believe. At least I'm pretty sure you can get them in this. Let me pull that up real quick so I don't tell you the wrong information. Yeah, because you can get like Lilith, and you can get this, plus you could get Mystic Knight. So these ones, you could farm if you wanted to, and get things like that. So, that's, if you want to try for that. Whoops. And then, over here in these other ones, I really wouldn't recommend them, because they just aren't that great for it. Like, Divine Queen's, or Divine Queen of Darkness is just not really worth it. She does give, she does give more experience than Hera's regular dungeon, but this one does cost a lot more, costing 40 stamina instead of costing 14. And then like two heroes I would just recommend if you were going to farm either Siegfried or Choo Choo out of. That's really the only reason to do them. Same with like the Legendary Seaway and Legendary Earth. Just take way too much stamina. As you can see, this one takes 88 and this one takes 99. They do give a ton of experience, but it's just not worth it in, experience to stamina ratio. So they just really wouldn't be worth it unless you wanted something in particular. I can't remember what you can get from this. The Earth one, you can get some good stuff. See, in this one, you can get dragons, you can get the regular things, and you can get these two, but they're not way great. With the Earth one, you can get dragons, which, again, are good experience, and you can get the heavy metal dragon as well, which turns into Zayrog, which is definitely one of the strongest free things. Just any of his forms here, or if you manage to get the other one and then turn him into Zayrog Infinite, then he's definitely one of the strongest free things in the game. He's actually probably just one of the strongest things in the game regularly without even saying free. But if you still want to do more stuff than just those ones, because I could definitely understand if you just don't want to keep doing King of the Gods, Queen of the Gods, things like that, it gets boring. The next one that I would recommend is in the special dungeons, and it is for the... It's one of the dungeons regularly. It's the Monday dungeon. The Monday Legend dungeon, or just the Expert dungeon, can net you a lot of experience, as you can see, and definitely what you should probably be doing whenever it's available and you want to up your experience. Because as you can see, Even though it does cost 50 stamina, it gives you a massive amount of stamina, or 25 stamina. It still gives you a massive amount of experience here. I guess it's stamina at the time. Doesn't matter. But as you can see, it gives you pretty much the same, well, at least the expert one gives you the same amount as King of the Gods, or similar to it, but it being a lot easier. Somebody who's probably just getting out of beginner going to expert, or is like mid-expert, could do it without any trouble, really, or without as much trouble as you think you would. The legend one is a bit tougher because the guy at the end is rather difficult. If you don't have a way of bursting or doing a really high amount of damage, or having some sort of armor break, because he has a lot of armor on him. I can't remember the exact amount. Let me check. He has 300,000 armor and then 800,000 hit points. So he can be kind of a pain. But if you do this, you can also get pretty much any one of the golems into their almost complete form, which can also be really useful. You can get any of the ogres in their complete form if you want them, as well as you can pick up the various elemental dub mythlets here. I think the expert one is pretty much just the lower versions of everything I just said. You can pick up any of the ogres in their second form, any of the golems in their first form, any of the dub mythlets, and then the small metallit. So this one is just worth a ton of experience and definitely worth doing. There are also other ones that you could do, particularly these harder ones, but again, they're going to be for more expert players, more along the lines of people who are already high leveled and have good teams and whatnot. Like Sona Grand is going to be more of a expert type of one to do, as well as if you could do it regularly. Either the Divine Queen or Almighty God Legend Plus with the 295 or 297 Descended give you a ton of experience, but I think they're just like one-time dungeons. I'm pretty sure they are. So you could get a lot of experience from them, but they are very difficult as well. Other ones, some of them that you can buy, just dungeons from the various things, if you just spend your coins on them, aren't bad for experience either, but they generally aren't that great. Any of these alternative things are actually pretty good, especially the alternative Castle of Satan, if you can do them. This requires you doing pretty much all of the regular technical dungeons and then doing the alternatives to them, I believe. I'm pretty sure they're not normal ones. But as you can see, like, alternative Castle of Satan, King of Darkness 2 gives you 1,000 experience per stamina point, so it's worth a lot. As well as it doesn't really cost that much, but getting up to this is really hard. So just keep that in mind as well. Some of these other ones, especially like the temporary ones that just kind of show up every once in a while, could be worth doing. You'd probably want to check a site like this or some other site. I'll leave this linked in the description for anybody who wants to go off and look at this. This site has pretty much everything. It has all the information you'd need. It even has various people's inputs on teams and what would work, what doesn't work, things like that. So, yeah, you can get a lot of levels with some of this. And then other ones like this just aren't even, categorized. So, yeah, I would say do Dragons of the Castle, whatever it was. Do that one quite a bit until you're leveled up quite a lot, and then can move forward. And then once you can reliably do the other dungeons where they're not giving you trouble, where it's like every, third try you're going to beat it or something, then go on to like the golem boards, either like Hyperion Lava Tube or any of the other ones that I said. And then keep moving forward until you can reliably do either King of the Gods or Queen of the Gods, and then just keep doing that. And then whenever Monday dungeons come out, go ahead and do that one as much as you can for the time that you got. You can also maximize your efforts too on Monday dungeons in particular. if you were to play multiplayer ones, because multiplayer ones cut your stamina in half that you're going to be using, because it's, so if it was 25, it'd be about 12 or 13 stamina for each of you to go. I'm not sure what it would be exactly. And then just keep doing that, and then you'd still get the same amount of experience. You'd still get all the same rewards as each other, but you would get a higher amount of experience per stamina point that you used. So if you have a friend, or if you just make a friend online, just do that. You'll get a lot of experience that way. You could also just do it for, I think you could just set up a room and then just put it out, see if anybody wants to try with you, wants to try with your team, whatever. Just get them experience or something like that. So that's pretty much my thoughts on it. You can't do like the team multiplayer ones in any of the normal dungeons, though. It just doesn't work. You can't do them. The game won't allow you. You can with technicals, so you could do Alternative Castle of Satan, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's in technicals. If you wanted to, and then get even more experience that way. Same with any of the special dungeons, specials and technicals you can do as multiplayer, so just keep that in mind as well. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, be sure to leave them in the description below, and I'll try to answer them if I can. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have been having a good day, keep on having a good day. If you guys have been having a bad day, I hope this video made your day just a little bit better. I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, stay cool. Bye.